Hello and welcome to another edition of Mocs News. I'm Allison Conley.
And I'm Jillian Henson.
So Jillian, how was your long weekend?
It was good. I went home and spent time with my family and just kind of relaxed. So, how about you? Did you have a good one?
I relaxed too because once the semester gets rolling, there will be no time to relax. So I took full advantage of the long weekend.
That was a good idea.
All right, well let's get into campus news. If you have an interest in astrology, you can attend the grand reopening of the Jones Observatory. The event will be held Sunday, January the 21st. The doors will open at 5:30 p.m. Activities begin at 6, and visitors are invited to view the night sky through telescopes at 8 p.m. The observatory is located about 4 miles east of the university campus at 10 Tuxedo Avenue, north of Brainerd Road and Belvoir Avenue. And if you haven't had a chance to check out the ongoing series, Sex, Lies, and History, Women and the Quality of Life, there's still time. Thursday at 6 p.m. in the University Center Auditorium, you can catch the lecture, Jesus, Gender, and Sexuality, presented by Dr. Amy Jill Levine. This presentation will expose and expunge anti-Jewish, sexist, and homophobic theologies. Also this Friday at 10 a.m. to 12 noon, you can see UTC's very own in action as they give their perspectives. The list of speakers include Assistant Vice Chancellor Dr. Dee Dee Anderson, Communications Professor Dr. Elizabeth Gailey, and Port Scholar winner Darius Sailors, and others. And in other campus news, the Music on the Spot series begins January 25th. Chancellor Roger Brown and Student Development invite faculty, staff, and students to enjoy good music with good food at the UTC University Center. The series kicks off at 12:15 p.m. at the University Center Commons, when the UTC Blues and Jazz Band will present JB and the Refried Beans. Also, BSA will have its meeting Thursday, January the 18th in the Signal Mountain Room at 6 p.m. So if you're interested in their organization, you should definitely come out. And lastly, in campus news, don't forget this Friday is the last day to drop a class with a W. So if you're thinking about making any last minute schedule changes, you better hurry on down to records and registration and get that taken care of.
All right, in local news, you may see a change in the voting rules here in Tennessee. Senator Doug Jackson introduced legislation that will allow individuals who are 18 years old by the time of the general election to vote in the primary elections. Jackson has also proposed legislation that will extend early voting by a week. Also, a chemical explosion in a Walmart in Stockbridge, Georgia was used as a diversion to a shoplifting arrest. One of 4 men tried to put a toy in his pants when a clerk noticed and went to get help. The men went to a place in the store where chlorine-based swimming pool products were kept, and they mixed them together. The mixture made a cloud of smoke that sent 4 people to the hospital.
All right, let's take a look at national news. The popular website MySpace has recently come under fire by parents. The site is said to be a place where child predators can contact children. The site may now have software available for parents to install that can show parents what name and age their children are using, but not the child's actual page, in order to help increase the security of minors. Also, technological advances have long made it possible for people to donate sperm and eggs to reproduce. But now a hospital in New York plans to offer the first uterine transplant for women who can't carry children.
All right, and in international news, officials are denying rumors of Cuban leader Fidel Castro's health conditions deteriorating. This report came from a Spanish newspaper that said that after 3 failed operations, Castro is still suffering from a serious infection to his large intestine. However, today officials say that Castro is slowly improving. Also, Iran's installation of new uranium-enriched centrifuges for its new nuclear program is running behind. Initial reports were that Iran would have this nuclear program completed by the end of 2006, but the uranium centrifuges is still in process.
All right, well, let's take a look at sports. The University of Tennessee at Chattanooga men's basketball team used a swarming defense to open the game on a 14-2 tear. The Mocs made 9 of its 13 shots from the floor to race to a 21-6 lead and went on to win 66-55 at Elon's Alumni Gym Monday night. Also, 3 Lady Mocs scored in double digits Monday night at the Roundhouse to lead Chattanooga past Furman 61-40. The Lady Mocs will be back in action when they travel to Charleston to take on the Cougars Saturday at 2 p.m. at John Crest Arena. And Michael Keith was named the Southern Conference Wrestler of the Month for December. Keith produced an 11-3 mark during the month, wrestling at 141 pounds. Keith nationally ranked as high as number 14 and is the second consecutive UTC wrestler to be selected by the SoCon to this monthly honor. So congratulations, Michael, and keep up the good work.
So, Allison, can you believe how cold it is today?
I know, but it was like 70 degrees this weekend.
I know. I loved those temperatures and that weather, and I'm not ready for this.
I know. I don't want the sun to go away.
I know, but let's go ahead and take a look at today's weather. All right, today is mostly cloudy, high of 45 and a low of 32. Thursday, cloudy with a high of 46 and a low of 37. And Friday, partly cloudy with a high of 45 and a low of 27.
All right, and that about does it for this edition of Mocs News. Don't forget to watch every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 12:30 on Comcast Channel 3. Or you can watch it anytime at www.mocsnews.com. That's all for this edition of Mocs News. I'm Allison Conley.
And I'm Jillian Henson.